So we will start from the 10th sloka. Sahayajnaha praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prashaviswadham yesho vastvishta kamadhuk. In the previous section, Krishna spoke about the great art of doing work, which is to perform your prescribed duties in a mode of detachment and as an offering to Krishna. Okay, that way you can avoid any kind of reactions or material bondage incurred by the performance of prescribed duties. Fine. So now in this section, from verse number 10 to 16, Krishna says that he has designed this world, this material world, to encourage yajna. In the 9th verse, he spoke about yajna. Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karmavandhanaha. You have to perform your prescribed duties for the sake of yajna. And now he says he has actually designed this world to perform such kind of yajna. Fine. And he does this by making material advancement dependent on yajna. Because your progress and prosperity in this world is dependent on how you perform your sacrifices. Fine. That's what Krishna is trying to emphasize here. So by worshipping the Lord for material well-being also one can become purified. Fine. So let's see what is this process of sacrifice. 10th verse. Sahayajnaha praja srishtva. Praja means the citizens or people in general. So the Lord has created these living beings along with the process of yajna. Sahayajnaha praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi. Okay. So Prajapati can mean the Lord of all creatures. Fine. It could refer to the Supreme Lord Vishnu, or it could even refer to the Prajapatis who perform the creation, who are empowered by Lord Vishnu to create. There is nothing wrong in both explanations. Fine. So Sahayajnaha praja srishtva, but simple meaning is Prajapati means the Lord of all creatures, and that is Supreme Lord Krishna ultimately, or his representatives as Prajapatis or as Brahma or anyone like that. So the Lord has created the living beings, and also the Lord has created the process of sacrifices. Okay, and said, may you all prosper, may you all get all desirable things by this yajna to live happily and achieve liberation. Okay, Anena. Next, Prabhupada writes that the material creation by the Lord of all creatures, that is Vishnu, is a chance to the conditioned soul to go back home, back to Godhead. So material world is there, and this material world is filled with people who perform material activities. But by following the Vedic codes, they will make a transition from material activities to spiritual activities. Initially, the Vedic prescriptions bring a person from doing hardcore material activities to somewhat spiritual activities, that is called Karma-kāṇḍa. Means in the direction of spirituality. Oh, you are eating meat constantly, at least restrict it. Taking some Vedic directions, restrict them. Restrict that meat eating only to a few days. Right, on Purnami day, Amavasya day, whatever prescribed course. So like that, initially the Vedic literatures prescribe certain activities for people who are in little lower stages of consciousness, and they are little karma-kāṇḍic, and they are also fruitive. Okay, you perform this and you will get this in return. But at least by doing that, there is some kind of alignment to a higher authority, alignment to the words of God, which are Vedas. But one has to transcend that stage. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. One has to transcend those Vedic prescriptions of sacrifices or rituals also and come to a stage of performing pure devotional service, fine. But in this section, Krishna is just describing the beginning stages. Okay, I have created people, means Vishnu has created so many people and also gave them the process of sacrifice. So you can prosper and progress materially while also making some substantial spiritual progress also by the process of this yajna. Fine? He has created people and he has created yajna. Fine? Next. So, Krishna is the pati of everything. Shriya pati, yagnapati, prajapatir, dhiyampatir, lokapatir, dharapatir, patir, gatischa andhaka vrishni sattvatam, prasidatam me, Bhagavan satam pati. This is a verse from prayers of Sukadeva Goswami in Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 4th chapter. You recently studied it. So the Lord is the pati or master of everything. And Prabhupada writes, it is Sankirtan Yajna which is the ultimate Yajna that we have to do. Although Krishna is speaking about some Yajnas here, some regular Karma-kāṇḍic Yajnas in this section, but ultimately what all devotees are supposed to do is Krishna conscious Sankirtan Yajna. And Lord Chaitanya has descended to perform that Yajna, introduce that Yajna to people in general. That is Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam. You know these verses. 11th shloka. Devan bhavayata nena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaha paramavapsyatha. Now in the 10th verse, Krishna said that I have created people and the process of yajna so that they can perform this yajna and become prosperous and get whatever they want for their maintenance. Fine? Now in the 11th verse he says, Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuvaha. So the Lord has also created the demigods. Okay? Now people are created, then yajnas are created, and demigods are also created. These people perform the yajnas and please the demigods, and the demigods will give them all prosperity in reciprocation to their yajnas. Okay? Ultimately, all yajnas are meant for pleasing Vishnu, but Krishna is here describing some basic things, okay, for basic people. So you begin with Karma-kāṇḍa. So Krishna will smoothly make a transition from Karma-kāṇḍa to Karma Yoga. Earlier he spoke about Karma Yoga already. That is Ignarthat Karmano Nyatra Lokoyam, that one. Now he is speaking about Karma-kāṇḍa. Okay. So from this Karma-kāṇḍa stuff you should come to Karma Yoga. So I have created demigods also, and these demigods, they should be pleased. They will be pleased by the performance of all these sacrifices. Fine. So, and they will supply all necessities to the human beings. Okay. So, parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaha paramavapsyatha. Parasparam means mutually they will reciprocate with the sacrifices done by the people, and they will bestow all prosperity. Now, who are these demigods? Demigods are also living entities. These demigods, actually Prabhupada writes, there are two types of living entities. One, those who have very pure consciousness of rendering pure devotional service unto Krishna, pure devotees, just want to render service to Krishna. And there are other people, they want to lord over the material nature. Fine, two categories. One want to lord over material nature for their own sense gratification. Second category, they want to serve the Lord. And there is a third category which is in the middle of two. They also want to lord over the material nature, and they also want to render service to the Lord. Such people are made into demigods. So, they will become demigods. They will get an opportunity to lord over the material nature by controlling earth, water, fire, air, ether and all that, and giving rains to people and all that. And that controllership is a part of their service to the Supreme Lord. So demigods are more advanced living beings in this universe who have much more developed consciousness than regular human beings in general. They render service to the Lord, but they also have some tendency to control material nature, and that controllership mentality Krishna utilizes in running the material universe. He'll make them managers of material universe. Is it clear? Fine. So, but if their tendency to control decreases, and if their mode of rendering service to Krishna increases, they will become pure devotees. But if their controllership increases and their service attitude towards Krishna decreases, Krishna will teach them a lesson. Like he did in Govardhan Leela, Indra. Then he also did in Brahma Vimohan Leela and all that. Fine. Of course, Brahma Vimohan Leela is a divine thing. So, Brahma is influenced by Yogamaya potency to steal the cows and boys. Anyways, coming back to this, the Lord has created the process of yajna. The Lord has created people in general, and the Lord has created demigods, and these people in general perform these yajnas and please the demigods and get all the desirable products from the demigods. Right? Now, 12th sloka. Ishtan bhogan hi devo deva dasyante yajna bhavita tair dattan apradayibhyo yo bhunte stena evasaha. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavita. Now, there are some people, so far we discussed three things. Yajna, people in general, demigods. People in general should perform yajna to please demigods and get whatever they want. But there are some people who do not want to please demigods by the process of sacrifice. They just enjoy the natural products, whatever is available, for their own sense gratification, without making an offering to the demigods through the process of yajna. Clear? So Krishna is speaking about them. One who enjoys the gifts of demigods. Now it's raining so much outside, and that is the mercy of Indradev. Okay? And because of this rain we will get crops and then lot of prosperity, greenery, etc. Somebody will just enjoy all this, but without making an offering to the demigods. So such a person is called thief. Okay? So without offering them to the demigods, if he just enjoys the products given by the demigod, such a person is called a thief. Stena means thief. Yo bhunte stena evasaha. Now, what about devotees? From Karma-kāṇḍa perspective, people have to perform yajnas to satisfy demigods, and demigods will give them prosperity. Devotees, they satisfy the Supreme Lord directly. Krishna. They water the root, they feed the belly. So they satisfy the Supreme Lord Krishna directly, and then get all prosperity from Krishna. Because all these demigods are limbs of Krishna's body, Lord Vishnu's body. So if one pleases the Supreme Lord by performing devotional service, then all the demigods are automatically satisfied, and such devotees will automatically be prosperous. But in the Karma-kāṇḍic section, for people who are in lower stages of consciousness, at least they should worship the demigods and get whatever products they have. If you don't worship demigods, and you don't worship anyways Krishna and Vishnu, then you are a thief. So Prabhupada discusses a lot about accepting only prasadam. Offer to the Supreme Lord and then accept prasadam, then you will be healthy also, and you will make spiritual progress also. 13. Yagnashishtasina santo muchyante sarva kilvishaihi bhunjate te tvagham papa ye pachantyatma karanat. Yagnashishtasina santo. Santa means devotees. What do they do? Yagnashishta. The remnants of sacrifice they accept. They perform sacrifice, means they make so many offerings to the demigods. If they are devotees, they offer directly to the Supreme Lord, Krishna. and then the remnants they accept. Fine? Such people, muchyante sarva kilbhishehi, they are freed from all kinds of sins and sinful reactions. So, bhunjate te tu agham papa ye pachanti atma karanat. Atma karana means for satisfying your own self, if you eat some things, you are only eating sin. Bhunjate te agham papa. Such sinful people who do not make any offerings to the Lord or the demigods and then eats directly, such people are eating sin only. They will be entitled for all kinds of sinful reactions also. Okay. So that's what is mentioned in the 13th sloka. Now Prabhupada writes, the devotees of the Supreme Lord are called santas and they are always in love with the Lord, and it is described in Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santas Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. So the yajna that is meant for us is Bhakti Yoga or Sankirtan Yajna, which involves Ravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, etc., etc., as Prabhupada writes in the purport. So we can see the perspective from devotee's side, and you can see the flow that Krishna is taking us through. Karma-kāṇḍa, demigod worship, and all these are being mentioned here. The bhakti word doesn't come, but Prabhupada instills lot of bhakti explanations for all these verses. 14th sloka. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavah yagnad bhavati parjanyo yajnah karma samudbhavah. Annad bhavanti bhutani means all the living entities subsist on food grains. Parjanyat anna sambhavah. Parjanya means now clouds. Okay. So the anna or food grains will grow because of this rain. Okay. And the rains will come from clouds. So people will survive based on food grains, and the grains will come through rains. Parjanya danna sambhavaha. And yajna bhavati parjanyo. How will that rain clouds come? That is by yajna. Yajna bhavati parjanyo. And where is that yajna described here? Yajna karma samudbhavaha. Yajna is born of your prescribed duties. To perform yajna is your prescribed duty. So you have to perform your prescribed duty. Your prescribed duty is yajna. And by yajna you get parjanya, means clouds or rains. And by rains you get anna or grains. And by that anna people will survive. You can see Gita Subodhini, I have given this whole thing in a cycle. And where is this karma or prescribed duties coming from? Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. You should understand that this karma or prescribed activities are generated from Brahma. Brahma here is not Lord Brahma. Brahma here is referring to Vedic literatures. So your prescribed duties are mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. Fine. And Brahmakshara samudbhavam. Where are these Vedas coming from? They are coming from Akshara, infallible Supreme Lord directly. Okay. Tasmad sarvagatam Brahma. And this Brahma is Supreme Lord. Therefore, you should render service unto the all-pervading Supreme Lord. Sarvagatam Brahma nityam yagne pratishtitam. Is it clear? So, tasmad means therefore. Sarvagatam means all-pervading. Brahma here refers to the Supreme Lord. The Brahma in the first line refers to Vedic literatures. The Brahma in the third line refers to the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Who is niyatam nityam yagne pratishtatam. He is always established in yajna, in the acts of sacrifice. Is it clear? So from the Supreme Lord, Vedas will manifest. From the Vedas, we will know what are our prescribed duties. So following these prescribed duties, we perform yajnas. And by performance of yajnas, we get rains. And through rains, we get grains. And from grains, we all subsist on them. Our survival is dependent on grains. But there is one more important link there. The living entities, after getting grains in their hands, they should not just eat. They should offer them to the Supreme Lord and then eat. So that link, although it's not mentioned in these two verses, you can see the previous verses. Then the cycle is complete. This is the cycle of sacrifice. The Supreme Lord, Vedas, prescribed actions, sacrifices, raining clouds, and food grains, and living entities who are surviving on the food grains. Okay. So we discussed 14th shloka and also 15th shloka. So Vedas are the emanations from the breath of the Supreme Lord. 16th verse. Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayati hayah aghayurindriya ramo mogham partha sajivati. Evam pravartitam chakram. So this chakra is cycle. What cycle? Cycle of sacrifice that we just discussed. So evam pravartitam chakram na anuvartya yati hayah. Okay. Na anuvartayati means if one does not follow this cycle of sacrifice in this life, so what is his situation? Krishna says, Aghayur Indriya Aramo. Indriya Arama means he just works for sense gratification. And Agha Ayur, and his whole lifespan is filled with sin. He just uselessly spends his lifespan in performing sinful activities and sense gratification. Okay. Mogham Partha Sajivati. Okay. He is uselessly doing it. Mogha means useless. He is uselessly wasting his time. Okay. So Krishna so far explained in this particular section that he has created the process of yajna and he gave it to the living entities so that they can perform that yajna and get all prosperity from the demigods. So once you get that prosperity, you should offer that prosperity back in the form of offerings and yajna to the demigods only, and then accept the remnants and then survive. And this is the whole cycle of sacrifice. And if you do not offer anything to the Lord or the demigods and then eat directly, then you are eating only sin. Better follow this cycle of sacrifice. So this is like a karma-kāṇḍic cycle. But when you bring in Krishna in picture, there not just offering to the demigods, offering to the Supreme Lord directly, it becomes bhakti. Fine? So this is the cycle of sacrifice. So in the 16th purport, Prabhupada says, there is no necessity of following the performances of prescribed yajnas for the transcendentalists who are above vice and virtue. But those who are engaged in sense gratification require purification by the cycle of sacrifice. The cycle of sacrifice is mainly meant for karma-kāṇḍic kind of people who are in very low stages of consciousness. But if someone has developed consciousness that he directly worships Krishna through Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, so all this demigod worship and performing so many yajnas are not necessary. You directly perform Sankirtan yajna of chanting the holy names of the Lord. Fine? So we completed 16 slokas, and from 17th till 35th sloka, it's a longer section. Okay, we will take it in the next slot. Okay, thank you.